welcome to episode 80 of the Youth Squad Legends series with Stockport County. This episode could have genuinely been the finale of the entire series, but it feels like we're back at square one after getting completely and utterly trashed by Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League last season. So what's next for Stockport County? I did ask you guys for advice last episode. Here are some of the comments that I picked out that has decent information, good points made, and that we're going to try and act upon today. So thank you ever so much for all your opinions in the comment section. It's not about like major transfers here. The big change is going to be what the hell we do to this 4-2-4. Obviously, Youth Squad Legends be all and end all formation this, but it's just not working for Stockport County. There's not enough output coming from the wingers. There's not enough creativity coming from the midfielders, so we're going to tear it apart, I think. I have to agree with everyone saying that Cucaldinho might be just best served as a substitute player. He will be forever considered a hero for his antics leading up to the first Premier League trophy. Absolutely iconic. But let's just swap him with Ronnie Valdo for now. What I'm feeling right now will start us with a base 5-3-2 holding. Don't worry, it's not going to be super defensive. But yeah, I do feel like the midfield has to have three people in it. One playing as that central attacking midfielder, the creative role. Because the wingers weren't giving us that much productivity, I feel like we'll have like defensive left midfielder, defensive right midfielder. Soto and Guerra do have attacking experience, I guess, and I don't think there's been any problem with wing-back production this series. The big change, I think, really will come in the form of three centre-backs, with Bustamante playing off one side, because let's be real here, he got absolutely cooked by Brobby. Sanders is absolutely rapid and can play as like a central sweeper, and not only that, we know about his passing range as well, so he can be like that deep quarterback sending it to all the midfielders. If I'm going to be really adventurous, yeah, I might try Jang Sung Chan back at centre-back, which sounds like a recipe for disaster. I might even try and push him up a little bit into like a defensive midfield role, with Guerra dropping a little bit further back as the left wing back, maybe left centre mid, then has an opportunity to play some kind of Mazzala role in the half spaces. Oh, I'm overthinking this. I need some player instructions. Whatever's happening here, it's definitely going to be some kind of asymmetrical shindig. The most crooked 4-4-2 that you've ever seen. I know that some of you might be looking at Jang Sung Chan as a CDM centre-back hybrid and thinking, what on earth, he has lost his mind. And I might have absolutely lost my mind, because we know how bad Jang Sung Chan was as a centre-back at the start of this series. And we know that his best plays come from just outside the opposition area. However, I don't think his creativity warrants him playing as a central attacking midfielder, and if he is to be the captain of one of my teams, then it's preferable for him to orchestrate from the back. I do like a captain that organises defence, midfield, attack, because he can see everything. Midfield, I'm thinking Bolam, Juicy John, and maybe a surprise inclusion, Jimmy Gallagher. I still think he brings so much energy to a midfield. Let him be an engine, let Juicy John, let Mr. Bolam here try and create things. I could turn towards signings like Svetkovic, Sanabria, Smolcic, Teles. They all could probably improve this team, but these are players that I've carried for seasons and seasons. And the more players that we use like Svetkovic, the less character this team has. It's really up to these lads to prove that what I was trying to do with Stockport, putting all the pieces together, wasn't in vain. Make sure the instruction for Soto here is to come back on defence. Can we make Bolam a drift wide or free roam? Jang Sung Chan definitely should stay back while attacking. We've got to keep Juicy John forward. I want both Pegararo and Ellis to stay central and to get in behind. I don't think we need a false nine, with Juicy John operating, hopefully, in between the opposition midfield and defence. Pretty sure I can push the strikers even further up. We're just going hyper-aggressive, hyper-attacking. You know, clearly when we come up against certain teams we can't really stop conceding. So Operation Score More Than Them is in full force. But if it doesn't work, we move on to the next idea. And then the next one, then the next one, then eventually something will click. So before we go into any kind of transfers for this new season, potentials have been changed, as they always do, to reflect on last season's performances. Contracts have been extended, changing our £205 million initial budget down to £163 million. Gonna make sure that we're not blocking offers on any single player. In a surprising turn of events, we're putting Harry Nieminen on the transfer list. You might be thinking, why on earth have you done that? He seemed quite solid. If we go to the transfer hub, it becomes quite apparent why we have put him on the transfer list. For a team that was struggling to squeeze by the homegrown registrations, Henry Frost would be quite a nice pickup indeed. Now, of course, a 93 overall goalkeeper usually slips in first team no problem, but he will be second choice to your Ray Lopez. We now simply have no time to pull punches. I am going to sign the best I can possibly sign, given my position here, and make as much money as I can possibly make. Nieminen getting sold and us bringing in a better free agent just seems like a no-brainer. This season's cracked centre-forward is a French player called William Bonin, and he is not leaving my sights. He will be a Stockport player within the minute. Got a player here that could play central attacking midfield, winger, and striker, wherever we need him in that attack. Not to mention his absolutely ludicrous 95 overall, the highest that I've seen from a centre-forward this save. Give him £150,000 a week, he'll be very happy with that, I'm sure. William Bonin is Stockport bound. Guess who's left Crawley, guys? Riccardo Carletti has called time on his League 2, League 1 life, and he wants to hit the big time. So now that he is a free agent, and he is this absolute anomaly, I'd love to go and sign him up. So we are going to sign him up, absolutely. His wages would be bonkers. Or maybe not. He's dropped his wages to £185,000 a week. That is very reasonable indeed. Oh, this is a new cutscene. Aye. So this is when you sign a superstar then. This must like trigger when the player is like 90 overall plus. Oh. This is a bit... Oh my goodness, he winked at me. I feel weirdly aroused.
Welcome to Yuko Ike's Haiku Chronicles with your host, Yuko Ike.
Back in my day, we used our front teeth instead of potato peelers. It's actually the cutscene for Bonin, but, you know, we get the gist. Imagine it was Carletti that was doing that as well. Playing games last season, there was one particular player that stuck out like a sore thumb that might be the answer to all our creative woes in midfield. Unfortunately, it does not weaken any of the European sides. It's a player that comes from Manchester City, but I am fully dedicated to throwing the big money at Nicholas Calvo. No joke, he was just simply divine when we played against him. He was clearly the best player on the pitch. I mean, without Nicholas Calvo, that City side is going to fall apart. And that really is everything that we're going to do in the transfer window. We've already got a Nieminen transfer offer, which is good. We're not interested in any kind of swap deal, but if we're talking in the region of £60 million, I think we'll be able to sign Calvo no problem. I think we sold him at 65 million quid. Nieminen and Stuttgart just sounds like a really nice match made in heaven. Ajax and Ray Lopez certainly do not. Bro, this is the wrong cutscene. But hey ho, this is Carletti going through his paces now as a Stockport County player as Harry Nieminen is sold. FIFA 23 is a flawless game that cannot be critiqued in any way, shape or form. Do we want to try and sell Wild for Chichi? South America. The wingbacks must be South American. Let me go and try and get £200 million for Fachichi and then we can talk. Okay, Jurgen Klopp is not looking to sign Fachichi for £200 million, but you know what? There's a long time to go in this transfer window. It might allow us to go in for my sweet prince, Gabriel Espino. £186 million in the budget so far. Calvo would cost a bit more than that. We are not looking to move Alberto Soto. Andre Belbel, maybe at the right price, ding ding. We are looking for potential wing options that can do more than winger due to our new formation. Andre Belbel is just a pure chalk on boots get the cross-in kind of winger. Can't really cut in. I can't see him applying himself into a different position. So, a good sale at about £50 million, or about like 42, is not to be sniffed at. Right, he might be going to Bayern Munich. I'm not really depressed on this one. Andre Belbel, decent player, sold at the right price. Stuttgart are splashing the money big time. After signing Niemanen, they're going after Michael Bolan. Bolan was a tremendous player from last season, especially in a position that we can't really afford to get rid of good players. I think we have to block offers for Juicy John and for Bolan respectively. Giuseppe Pegoraro moving to Chelsea? I can't do it, man. Story's too strong. We might have seen the limit of Pegoraro's power, but it's just the player that we have to carry if we can't improve him any further. Redenstrand is staying. Baba Debra really hasn't had a chance to shine. So why on earth would I get rid of him? Yes, Rafa Reina is going on another loan, this time to Everton. There's no chance that I'm selling Jan Regina. I want to keep Cabasau here. First friendly game of the pre-season. We've drawn 0-0 with... I think it's Atalanta. Oh my god, Derek might be going to Crystal Palace. We're definitely keeping Ramon Guerra after last season's antics. Inter against Stockport. Ended up being a 2-0 win. Just waiting for another Fachichi offer. Hey, Rafa Reina's going out on loan. Whoa! Are we willing to let Ivan Smolcic go? Now, he's just a really nice replacement if ever Jang Sung Chan gets injured, so offers for Smolcic are also going to get blocked. Stockport against Villarreal is a bit of an eye-opener. We lose 3-1, probably now out of the friendly tournament. Oh no. Whatever will I do with my life? I think it would be absolutely stupid for us to sell Damian Ellis. Stuttgart again trying to just throw serious money about. Cresta Kiwi could be going to Chelsea. FA Community Shield probably deserves a visual sim. Nothing happening so far. It's a 0-0 game here. I might jump in for penalties at the end. Nah, it's got to get sorted before penalties. I can't imagine a simulation this prehistoric can even manage a penalty shootout. Definitely need to sort out the squad numbers before the start of the new season. Here we are. Space. Yeah, he's going to go in. I knew for a fact it would never go to a penalty shootout. Alisson own goal after an amazing game from the lad. 1-0. Of course. The game was like, well, I'm not doing a penalty shootout, chief. So, with more thought, we put in Daniel Cavallaro onto the loan list alongside Jan Regina. Not really surprising that we're now trying to force a move out of the club for Wael Fachichi, so he is now transfer listed. So this is the start of the Premier League season. We got Stockport against Aston Villa. 2-1, the winner by Bolam in the 78th minute. Pegoraro also scored. A couple of 2-year loan deals on the table now for Jan Regina. You'd think after last season, with the bias towards the Premier League sides, that Nottingham Forest will be leading the way to get his signature. We have the same situation with Daniel Cavallaro. Bournemouth trying to loan to buy, absolutely not. And Real Sociedad with the 2-year offer. Here's Everton against Stockport, finishing 1-1. Ramon Guerra getting the equaliser. Yes, you might have already realised that I am paying absolutely no attention to the Premier League fixtures this season. It's all about the Champions League for me. We've won the Premier League twice already. Is there really much point in focusing on going for a third? No. It's all about trying to win the Champions League and trying to not get embarrassed again. Jan Regina, he's out on loan to Forest. Do we sell Joshua Poli, or is there enough in there to try and make him some kind of striker? I personally think he's ran his race. And he's ran a very quick race. But like electric Callum O'Flannery type speed combined with absolutely nothing else can't really get you that far. It's a £40 million transfer. Joshua Poli going to Real Valladolid. It looks like our old boy Kowalczyk is going from Valladolid to Frankfurt. Cavallaro has gone to the Europa Conference League winners Real Sociedad. This is Joshua Poli packing his bags and saying goodbye. Maybe not for the final time. He's probably going to get brought back for the Youth Academy only run. after this series concludes. Our budget is £267 million. It might not be enough for Nicholas Calvo, you know. I think with the money remaining, we can afford his wages, so we shall accept that. It's £250 million. But it's also a player that we're desperately screaming out for. This guy's special. Like, seriously special. When in the hands of the AI, please let that be the same when he's in the hands of me. £250,000 in wages, my guy. Please accept. Nicholas Calvo is playing for Stockport County. So could we get Gabriel Espino on a swap deal with Fachichi? It's worth a go. Oh, please. Oh, please! Oh, South America! We're just changing the wage structure slightly so he is within budget. I mean, what a team we have built. What a team we have built! It seems to be an excellent deal for the club there, Espino for Fachichi. I can't really say otherwise. Cabasal back onto the right and let him learn a bit of right midfield. Same thing happening with Alberto Soto. Calvo is looking good, but he's actually stolen Jang Sung Chan's number. Outrageous. God, I love South American wingbacks in this save. What's Bonin's development plan then? Let's have a look at these stats for a second. 37 weeks to become a central attacking midfielder. Yeah, let's focus on just making him better vision-wise. We've definitely got to have a bit of concern with Calvo's lack of attacking work rate. We move him on to a box-to-box play style. He's got 99 long pass. Man, if we can't create with someone like that, we're in desperate trouble. Man City quickly acting upon the Calvo-shaped hole by signing Camavinga to their midfield. Kowalczyk has gone to Frankfurt. We're receiving no additional offers. Cody Gakpo's gone to Leipzig. Leipzig are stacked in this save. Couple of Welsh players there and getting some moves. 1 hour to go in the transfer window. Our actions are done and dusted. I mean, it's a sensational transfer window. It really is. Ooh, what shall we do with all these wingers then? Well, Socrates used to be a striker, so that's an easy development plan. Probably best for Coit Cook to try and be a central midfielder. Noah Anderson used to be pretty decent in central midfield. If Carletti is the Messi regen, then he can also pick up some attacking midfielder qualities. Yeah, only taking 2 weeks to change position. We've obviously been talking about Juicy John becoming a midfielder for some time. What about Baba Debra? I can't really go left wing back here because he's not South American. He'll have to be just seeing what he can produce at central midfield. Look, I'm just happy that Baba Debra's here. Our third Premier League game of the season is Stockport against Fulham. That's 3-1 at the end of the game. Calvo scoring 2 minutes into his debut. Champions League must be very soon. Leeds United against Stockport. 1-1. Calvo scored. Oh, he's making a bit of a name for himself. Already beloved by the Stockport fans. Champions League. Here we go. Oh my God. Well then, Bayer Leverkusen against Stockport. We get the opportunity to untangle the mess that we left ourselves in at the end of last season. Getting any sort of win against these guys would be a huge morale boost. Man, the last time that this fixture happened, we lost 8-0. I mean, what a moment to test out the new formation. This could be a very special night. It's Bayer Leverkusen against Stockport County. It could also be one of the most dreadful nights in the club's history, because we don't know how Jang Sung Chan is going to cope in this weird position that he finds himself in. Ellis is going to make us stronger. He wasn't involved in the 8-0 due to injury. Bolan picks out Damien Ellis. Jimmy Gallagher, wrong pass there, mate, but Brobby can't get forward. This is a big deal. Juicy John, nice balance. Bolan, chip it in. Pecoraro onside. Stockport have got the lead just over 10 minutes gone. So come on, Pecoraro. Stockport Taliano. Go wild. Midfield creation. Oh, yes. What a lovely floated ball. Damien Ellis trying to force himself into the Leverkusen box. Soto. I mean, what a cross that is. Set up, Juicy John. Oh, great Stockport play. This is the first challenge We've seen Bustamante get burnt, but Sanders is in place. That is what we wanted to see. Corner's gonna get stopped. I love the fact that Jimmy Gallagher's back. Jimmy G doing Jimmy G things. He's a workaholic. Yes, Ellis is onside. He's going to send it to Pecoraro. There might be an opportunity to make it 2-0, but Romero gets the block in. Ramon Guerra out swinging corner. Drops to Jimmy G. Could you imagine a Jimmy G goal in this situation? I think it would take the roof off. Swing it in. Ramon Guerra. Finding. Oh, what a piece of play. Yet again, a vital block to keep it at 1-0. Look how hard Ramon Guerra is having to work. Chang Sung Chan is just straight up not a defender. We've gone in for a slide tackle that just wasn't there. So Saka to make it 1-1. I sent Lopez the wrong way. Playing really, really well though. The crosses from the wing backs. How has Ellis not scored that? Bro, the crosses from the wing backs are so much better than we'd get from the wingers. Has the lack of wingers actually helped the strikers find the channels that they need to run into? We have numbers. We don't feel exposed. We have Jang Sung Chan just in front of Sanders. Things you absolutely love to see. There's a Sanders interception. Somehow, we couldn't get that clear. And Bustamante was like 10 yards behind all the others. We've got enough to deal with. Never mind being let down by the most stupid of things. Can we find Ronnie Valdo? It's a lovely ball by Carletti to equalise. Ronnie Valdo is denied by the goalkeeper. Espino has the ball though. And here's a handball. Referee spots a handball in the play. Oh, Leverkusen. You annoying side. Let's see what the score is between Stockport and Newcastle United. 1-1. Another goal by Ramon Guerra. We've made some major changes here. EFL Cup tie, Stockport County against Peterborough. Finishes 4-0, a brace from Carletti and a brace from Redenstrand. The score between Crystal Palace and Stockport is 1-1. Damien Ellis scoring our goal. At this early stage of the Premier League season, we are 8 points behind Manchester City, down in the deep depths of 7th. I didn't think I'd be interested in playing the game against Sevilla, but guess what? They got Aristoteles at centre-back. So of course I put Socrates up front for us, and it's like the two great minds pitting themselves against each other. Jimmy Gallagher's found himself at centre-back as we try and organise ourselves. Jang Sung Chan with a nice interception and then losing the ball immediately. It's just them kind of finer details that we're going to have to polish up on the Korean. Socrates with a back heel to Soto. Oh, effort hitting the underside of the crossbar. Espina, what a ball in. But it's Aristoteles winning the header. No one was even trying to get in a Stockport shirt. I've completely forgot the advantages of having Socrates as a striker. Obviously, he's not as good as Damien Ellis, but the turning, the agility, the speed, it all comes together in a very nice package. Oh, it's a dummy by Sheshko. He's gone over Lopez. That's 1-0 Sevilla. Jang Sung Chan let him go. You're probably not cut out to be a defender. Use Bolam. Yes. Oh, what a piece of play. Juicy John. Espino on the way. It's Pecoraro with some nice close control. Bolam. Socrates getting the better of Aristoteles. Not the first time today. And Socrates has won the battle. Socrates again. He's flying. Oh! Good tackle there by Sanders. We are not getting the rub of the green. And look at this now. Sanders, because he was out of position, allows Sarr to win it for Sevilla. Puts us in an awful position if we wish to qualify from the group stage. But it's all learning at the end of the day. The luck has gone against us. I mean, we have been lucky all the way through the save. If it disappears, we're in trouble. There is definitely more consistency and creativity within the side. It just needs a few tweaks and Jang Sung Chan out of centre-back. Or maybe it's actually time for Cabasau to become a centre-back. How about that? Right, this has been Cutsy. Thank you ever so much for watching this episode of Youth Squad Legends. The board objectives will return next episode. Once again, thank you ever so much for all your suggestions. It's very, very early days, but it seems like we are getting closer to the final answer. A big thanks to everybody on the right-hand side supporting me on Patreon and our new Patreon members. Parker Alexander, Sir Spice, Daniel Alt, and we'll give a shout out to Jay Charity, who boosted his pledge per month. So thank you ever so much, guys. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.